Hello, everyone. I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare. We do live chat every Monday usually, but the first Monday of the month, we're doing it on Thursdays. So if you're here for a Thursday, welcome. So today I have, usually we don't do this in the kitchen, but I have some cookies to bake. We made, our members had um, a Cook With Me Live this weekend for a bake sale. Well, not for a bake sale, but I was making stuff for a bake sale for a local event. Mother's Day. We're doing a bake sale on first Saturday. And I figured that would be a good thing to do. Now, coming up next time in June, we are going to do a rabbit pepper soup, which Erica can write what it's actually called because I don't remember what the name is. Erica's one of the members. So, so welcome, and we will talk all things homesteading while I make these, and it is going to be a fun time. So, Verna's here. Vay's Place is blue with a little wrench. She is a moderator on the channel, and she's awesome. If you have a small space to grow in or raise in, she raises food in her apartment. So check out her channel. Welcome. Says, hey Katrina, first like, going to get more coffee while I wait for you to start. Awesome. So you're ready. Well, I appreciate you being here. And Erica's here. Welcome. Hello, all. She's a member, so she knows what I'm talking about. Welcome. And Steve is also a moderator here. He's also awesome. And the little wrench in blue. And let's see who's showing up. This is an unusual time for me. An unusual date for me. So I don't know how many people are going to make it, but Verna made peanut butter cookies. Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to start by baking the Mrs. Fields cookies that we did. And then we'll move to the peanut butter cookies if you guys are still on. I don't know how long this is going to take. And you guys are going to have to remind me to set the timer every time. Oh, all right. So Erica says it's Hassenpfeffer. Yeah, it's a rabbit pepper super stew. Yeah. Green names are member names. Yep, absolutely. And Jacob's a member too. Welcome, Jacob. Hello, he says. Hello. Welcome. I don't know if you watched the replay, but we are going to bake up the cookies that we made this last weekend. Timer's ready. I should get that going while people are coming in. So, I did not clear my space. I was moving the baby bunnies out into their area. Moving them onto pasture, and that went pretty smoothly. They're Penne's babies. Penne is the one with half a back foot that she was born that way. And her babies, I don't know, something spooked them out there before I got there, so they were running around. They were jumpy. So it's not really I don't know, she's not really great genetics for that, but she's a good mom and she raises her babies and her babies grow well, so we'll keep her for now. And man, she had 11 babies, so yeah. So we put the babies out on pasture and the rabbit tractors, and Ravioli's babies, she has 10, will go out in well, I was going to process them today after work, and I ended up not doing that. So I have 5 more to process that were of grow outs that were Risotto's batch. And so she will have, once those ones are processed, Ravioli's babies can go into that one. And that's a small one. That'll be okay while they're little, but I do need to make another bigger tractor, which is 4x8 instead of 2x8. The 2x8 is actually bigger than what they're in right now with mom. So it would be fine. It's just you have to move them multiple times if you want them to, do what they need to do for the grass. So I'm going to look real quick here, and then we'll get to the comments. Bake on ungreased cookie sheets, $3.75. And it says 12 to 15 minutes. We'll go with 12 minutes, see where we get. So let me get this started. How I bake cookies is I'm going to put this over here. How I bake cookies is I put it in on 2 middle racks. I need to move the racks. Should have done that before it heated up, but I didn't. Give me a minute. Okay, so I'd use the 2 middle racks, and then I'll put it on the bottom of those 2 racks for half the time, then switch it up to the top. Now, I've already rolled these, pre-rolled, so they just got brought to room temperature, and we're plopping them on here, a couple inches in between. Okay, let me get this in, then we'll go back to, it looks like Verna had a question about something. Let's see what it is. And work through this. It's good to get things done while talking with you guys. And since this was a member event, I figure it's okay to do that. Okay. So, ooh, that just moved everything. Here we go. Six minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, everybody's saying hi. Okay, literal translation for that translation is peppered rabbit. It's a German stew. All right, thank you, Erica. Verna's asking if any of Penny's kits have her defect. No. And yes, my oven is on. Good catch, Verna. Yeah, so Penny is, all of my does are from the same parents. So even though you'll see 2 that look like Californian and 2 that look like Black New Zealand, all of their mom is the same mom, and all of their dad is the same dad. The mom was a Black New Zealand, and the dad was a Californian. So I believe that her birth defect, I mean, it could be some genetic interesting thing, but I believe it is because her mom got older. So Penne and Risotto, the 2 black ones that are out there, are Tortellini's last litter. And they're her last litter because she ended up having a stroke and dying. So I was with her when that happened. It was actually Verna helped me realize exactly what it was, and it was a stroke. It was pretty clearly that's what it was. Half of her body stopped working, and I mean, I didn't know what was happening. I thought she was maybe she had jumped and hurt her back or her leg or something, and like I took her inside, which was a little stressful for her, but because she wasn't used to being inside. But I took her inside, and I gave her a Epsom salt bath. I thought that, this is muscular. Let's get right on this, because I've done that with rabbits before that had soft tissue issues, and I've done that with a quail before that had a soft tissue issue, and they have recovered fully from those on both accounts. So I was thinking that was what it was. It is not what it was. It was a stroke, and I got her dried off, got her out there. She was calm then, And then as soon as I was laying her back into the hutch, she passed like right there. So penne and risotto have the same mom, and they were the only ones in her litter. So I think that's probably what happened is there was some age issues. But just in case, I'm not saving back any babies for breeding from penne. So even though that's what I think happened, there still could be something genetic. But yeah, I have, if you go back to the videos, what is it, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? Year and a half? I think it's like a year and a half ago that she's that old. You can see in the videos, there's one baby, when I pick it up, there's a little half foot on the back. Like even, I think I noticed the on the pictures when I went back, it was like a couple days old. I mean, typically the first and second day, I'm not checking for stuff like that. I'm checking for, are they getting fed? Is their belly full? Because that's the most important, is, okay, is mom feeding them? And then I'll start looking at, stuff like that after that point. And with her, that's just what happened. So yeah. Anyway, but her baby, she's a very good mom. And she has calmed down a little bit, but I kind of wonder if that's because she had 11 babies and they wore her out. I mean, it's something to consider. Yeah. And so that may be what happened. But we'll see what she's like with this next litter. I mean, having 11 surprised me, considering that she's only ever had 5 before. And she actually had 12, and one of them was a little weak at birth and didn't make it. So her having 12 after only ever having 6 at a time is like, whoa, okay, that's interesting. Joy's here. Hello all. Joy says hello. Joy, good to see you on a Thursday. I am baking cookies that we made for the Katrina's Kits Cook With Me Live this weekend. And yeah, there you go. Steve is saying perhaps mom was overzealous when cleaning them after birth. I know dogs can do that. It could be, but it was smaller and just in general looked weaker. So very well could be that, or it could be just that it was, the runt. And yeah, so she is doing a great, she did a great job with the rest of them. All right, we are at, I put my thing away. So I'm going to take the cookies and put them on the next tray up, or next rack up, and then put the new one in. So I typically do a 3 cookie sheet round, because now once they're at this stage, we're doing the second half at 6 minutes. And then once that's done, the top one will be done, put it on the tray, and then, we can continue. And it works pretty well that way. So, all right, Joy says my bunnies are 3 weeks old now and nibbling in mama's grass treat. So cute. Yes. As soon as they open those eyes at around 10 days, they are out and exploring the world. They're like, oh, I didn't know there was anything outside of this nest box. Now I know. So, yeah. And as Verna said, wonderful, Joy. I agree. Yeah, for sure. And if anybody is watching this now or later, and has not started raising rabbits yet and wants to raise rabbits, I have a lot of videos on the whole topic. There's a whole playlist on rabbits. And I was thinking the other day that maybe this next batch that actually I have in the cooler right now, I might redo my video on like cutting it off the bone. And I was also thinking that a good way to show kind of what to expect would be to just put one into a pressure cooker, and or you put it in a pressure cooker or a slow cooker, and you basically, so the meat falls off the bone. And when you do that, you really see how the bones are, and they're different than like chicken. So like I said, you can trick someone into thinking that rabbit is chicken, but not if you give them a drumstick, because it's not going to look the same. So, yeah. Yeah. So, Penny's babies are out on the pasture now, and it took them a little while to figure out that the grass was there. Oh, maybe I can eat this. And so they'll figure it out. They'll be jumpy. My experience with the tractors so far is that it takes a couple days of me walking up to them, because they're, I'm a giant now. They used to see me from this high. Now they're seeing me from down there. So I'm a giant to them now, and it so it'll take a couple days of me walking up to them, moving a couple times a day. Actually, I'll probably leave them in the same place for a couple days to get them used to the tractor. But when you move them, that's when it takes a couple days too for them to figure out what to do with their legs, like how to either jump as, hop as I'm moving it, or to stand on the wire. And it's funny because, it's an either or. Yeah. Britta says they are more different than any other animal in their bones. They have interesting bones. Yeah. Lots more meat on a rabbit leg. That is true. That is true. Yeah, a rabbit leg, I think I would equate to like what you get in a store-bought chicken breast. Maybe not the giant ones, but yeah. So, yeah. Roberta says you got that right, Joy. Exactly. So now, Joy, is this your first litter of rabbits? I don't remember if this is your first litter or not. I know you shared pictures on the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook. Erica says, when I was about 10, we had one of our aunts over for dinner. Mom cooked both fried chicken and rabbit. Yep. Yeah, it's funny, when I started raising rabbits, I didn't know anybody personally that raised rabbits. And then once people started to know that I raised rabbits, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we had rabbits when I was little. Oh, we raised them when I was little. Oh yeah, we did too." It's like, how many people raised these when they were little and then just didn't when they're an adult, And so I haven't quite felt out my market here yet. That's going to be probably mostly a next year thing, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to breed. So penne and ravioli are pregnant right now, and risotto and rigatoni are. I think I'm going to breed them one more time, and then it'll be a rest for summer. And the rest for summer is partially determined by me stopping trying, and then mostly determined, 100% determined by Mr. Percy's little swimmers, because rabbits go temporarily sterile in the summer, which is an interesting thing. And man, I understand that. I wouldn't want to have a bunch of babies or, be hugely pregnant like in the heat of summer. So I get it. We did already have one day that went up to 84, so I don't know how his little swimmers are doing, but it's been cooler. So yeah, there you go. All right. Joyce says, yes, I used to raise them in my teens and 20s. Oh, it's her first litter, not yours. Okay, I knew it was somebody's first litter over there, Joy. I remembered something. Brenna says, make some rabbit nuggets. They will not be able to tell the difference. Yep. Let me change this. For bow tie, I see you said something, but I don't think these are ready yet. Maybe they are. I usually do bigger little balls of cookie dough. We'll see if I need to add a minute or so after I do this. So I'm doing cookies for a fundraiser for a bake sale. And so I'll be interrupted every 6 minutes. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here instead so I can see you guys. Okay. Bow ties here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And Erica says my aunt swore she hated rabbit. The next day when we had leftovers, she picked up a piece of rabbit. We all stayed silent while she raved about how good the chicken was. Yeah. Oh yeah, these are done. They're just small. I'm used to making them bigger, but I have a cookie scoop that someone gave me. Don't tend to use them, but I used them this time. Or I used one this time, and they're pretty small. but that's okay. It's okay. All right, so Dad told her after lunch. Oh no, what did she do? What did it do? Was she okay? Cookies are done. Yes. It's either a truck or a cookie, huh? Is it cooler overall in Oregon where you are compared to California? Yeah, they're cookie bites. They're like, yeah, they are. Is it cooler? The answer is yes, I think. I mean, I am in a different planting zone now. So the planting zone I used to be in is zone 9B, a USDA planting zone 9B. Now I'm in 8B. So it does snow here. I think it only snowed like 3 separate storms this winter. So and that was like, people were like, oh my gosh, it's snowing. It was kind of funny actually. But the power can go out from stuff like that and all that because they don't get a whole lot of snow here. So I am in the wetter area of Oregon, but it doesn't snow a whole lot. Yeah, if that makes sense. I ate a lot of this cookie dough. Realizing I ate quite a bit of it. Okay. So yeah. Now the heat, I'm gonna say in general, yes, Gilroy was much hotter in the summer than here. But I also have to say that this summer it apparently got up to 105 here. Now 115 Gilroy, so that is a difference. But it is the summers are getting hotter here. So I don't know what to predict really. Yeah, but it is cooler. I got my timer going, Verna. Thank you. Oh, Erica, she was pissed that you let her eat it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Right. So Joy, you're closer to the coast than me, I think, too. If I remember right. So Joy is north of me in Oregon, warmer where I am than where she is. I think you're closer to the coast too. But yeah, so the way Oregon works is there's the ocean, the coast, then the coastal range, which is really like, it's not just like here's one mountain, next mountain, next mountain. It's more like, hey, there's a bunch of mountains. The coastal range is not like a super tall range either, but it's the range where it basically traps the clouds over it and it rains. So it's called the rain shadow effect, where one side of the hill is going to be different than the other side of the hill. But in this case, there's like so many hills together that you're going to get, even though there is microclimates, you're going to get some of those effects on one side more than the other. So yeah, there you go. Bowtie says the cook always has to test the cookie dough. Yeah, yeah, especially when it's sitting there. My mom used to make these, and well, she still does. And she would put them in the freezer in Ziploc bags, and then when she wanted to get them out, they wouldn't all be there. Don't know how that happened. Yeah, yeah. At least you do. Yeah, I'm with you, Bowtie. Okay, you're 40 minutes from Lincoln City. Yeah. See, I think it takes like 3 hours to get to the coast for me, but it's because I have to go either north or south. It's like I don't have. There's no straight shot that I know of, but I've not driven there from here yet. But yeah, the tide pools in Lincoln City are really awesome. There used to be a really good saltwater taffy place there. Ooh, Verna says, look, Lucy got to lick the peanut butter batter bowl. Can you please say peanut butter batter bowl really fast a lot of times? Get ready. I know, it's at 14 seconds. Yeah, so that's kind of the area I'm in. I'm also like almost at the edge of a watershed. So like things change, things are different, not that far away from me. And that just is. I don't have anything more to say about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Timer. Yeah. Steve says, I don't think my mom ever made cookies. Oh, that's so sad. I think I learned my fractions because I was baking with my mom. Pretty sure about that, actually. Maybe my brother's not watching, but when my brother was little, people asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said a mommy, because mommy can stay home and bake cookies. That's not what she did every day. That's just what he remembered. That's how he saw the job title. Oh, he's not a mommy, just in case you guys are wondering. He's a daddy though. He's a daddy one time over, or 2 times, anyway, twice now. All right. So let me get this here, and then we'll see what the comments are. Now, I do like these stacking racks because they stack and they're good. All right, Joy says, we have Highway 18, pretty straight shot to the beach. Right. Yep. Yep. Okay, Verna also taught her kids fractions with cooking. Yep. If you double a recipe, which we did that on Sunday. So there's an example. Yeah. Verna says, hope he realizes daddies can make cookies too. Yeah, he knows that. He grew up. He grew up. Yeah. So anyway, so that is that's that. Hey, my dad's here. He heard me tell a super secret story. Is it super secret? He's actually a very good cook, he says. Welcome to my dad. Joy says, my grandkids called my mom Nana that makes cookies. I was Nana with horses. Hey, differentiate. Okay, bow tie. You can't be off topic because there is no topic. Mrs. Bowtie and I did not know there is an American Badger. That is not off topic. Did you just go see my website? Somebody did. I heard somebody go on there. My phone tells me. Ooh. American Badgers are my animal that I studied for my master's. And things may have changed since then, but at the time that I did my master's, there's four subspecies recognized in the United States, and how they're physically determined or physically you can tell them apart is the length of the stripe from the nose back. Some of it goes all the way down the tail. Some of it only goes to like right here, and I'm sure there's some genetic component as well. But I characterized, and you can look this up. There's a link on my website, or you can just look up. There, I characterized reproductive den habitat in Central California grasslands. So that information's on the web for free. I paid $68 extra to not extra dollars. Paid $68 to make it free. Otherwise, species stay in the school, which is weird. But yeah, there's American badger. We have them here. I don't know that we have them here. There's a possibility that one could get here, like in the valley here, but it's not going to be a very big population here if they did come in this area. And they range from alpine all the way down to sea level, so they are quite the animal. Yeah. Right. So Verna's talking about fractions. So if you double a recipe or half a recipe, or half like one half, and there's some recipes that you shouldn't half, and there's some recipes that you shouldn't double, because it turns out funky. But most of them you can. Yeah. Oh, Bowtie's looking at my thesis now. That's why it came up. Yeah. Yeah. So that was 2008 to 2010 is when I was doing stuff for that in Central California annual grasslands, and I've also done badger work in Oregon at Heart Mountain. That's actually where I started doing badger habitat analyses and diet analyses as well. I presented that information at the carnivore conference in Florida in what year? My dad was there. What year did we go to Florida? I don't remember. It was really funny. We went to this carnivore conference in Florida, and he just always wanted to go to Florida. My mom's never going to Florida. There's too many alligators and bugs and things, snakes specifically, I think. And so we got to see the Everglades and stuff. But I didn't know that he was going to actually sign up for the conference, and he did. And I'm like, you got a bony butt. You might want to not sit on these hard chairs all day. But it was a fun experience. I've presented quite a few posters at different conferences, not recently, but over my younger years. So yeah. Was it 2004 that we went? I think it might have been. So what I'm doing, if anybody's new coming in, I'm making cookies, and I have 2 racks going. The middle 2 racks and the bottom of those is what goes in first, and then the top one. Reason why I do that is because the bottom one tends to burn more. I'm doing half the time on each. So it was 2006. Okay. Yeah, it was sometime there. Oh, you still have the tote? I have it somewhere. There was a tote, and I have a t-shirt too, but it's really like the t-shirt has a really high neck, and I don't really like those. But yeah, it was fun. We met a wolf. That was pretty cool. Got a little kiss from the wolf. But yeah, yep, that's all good. Erica says, I remember finding a badger by coming face to face with it while walking through a hayfield. There you go. And they do not care. They do not care. They will just dig away. They don't follow paths. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yes, bowtie. They are very interesting animals, and they're in a lot of places people don't realize. And so I am a wildlife field biologist. I'm no longer like a field biologist for my work, because I live here and my work is in California. And thank you, Verna, for the cookies warning. But they're very interesting animals, and usually when people see them, they see them dead on the side of the road, because usually when people see them, usually when they're not out, during the daylight. They're nocturnal. If you see them during the daylight, like middle of the day, it's likely going to be June or July, because that's when everybody's moving. So the young are dispersing from mom. The females can actually mate the first year, because they have what's called delayed implantation. Bowtie, you got me on a topic. So it won't actually implant until the winter time, the winter time, and then they'll have their babies in spring. And so the males and females are moving around. The kits is what the babies are, just like rabbits. So the kits will be dispersing away from mom. Everybody's moving, and that's when you're going to see them out during the day, especially the younger ones, because they don't have a home, like they don't have like a known home range. So it's pretty interesting. All right, let's get these on here while we talk. Cookies. Yeah, my dad has the tote. Let's scroll down. Bowtie says, so you are who I should ask this question. Maybe. Male urine kept a plethora of critters from our cabin in Arkansas. I was discussing with someone in England trying to figure out if it also works on badgers. Male like human? Are you saying human? Why are you trying to get the badgers to go away? Personally, I don't think much is going to deter a badger. Based on what I've seen personally and what I've read, they're pretty independent, and I don't think you're going to deter that. Now, I have heard of people, and I don't know that it has to be male, but it may help with testosterone. But I have heard of people doing that to keep away other predators. The badger is what we call a mesopredator, or mesocarnivore, which is, all that means is it's medium sized. It's medium. And when you have that, they are still, they still can be technically prey to somebody else. They're probably not going to taste as good as a prey animal, but and then with the urine thing, I know it's been done with wolves. And there's studies that you can read, and I am not going to try and pretend that I know what the studies say, but I know that there's been studies done with wolves, so I'll direct you to that. I do know, like, when Ringo, the cat here, when he had his dignity removed, when he got fixed, he was inside, and I had him in the laundry room. He was using a litter box, and I actually spread his, it was a clay litter. I actually spread his scent, his leavings, around what I think was his territory boundary. And so they wanted to kind of ward off, there's a cat that beat him up. I wanted to tell the cat that he was still around, not that he just disappeared off the scene. So that's something. Another thing to think about is that you can actually order and research this before you do it. I'm not research. YouTube probably isn't research. Research this before you do this. You could also order urine of certain things for a variety of reasons. I know deer hunters sometimes will use deer urine as a scent hider. We've used scent. I don't know what it was from. Some sort of scent from something. I don't remember, as an attractant at a camera trap. So of that species, I think it was of that species. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember what it was. I was not involved in the getting of the material for that, but that was for attractant, not for not for the other one. Yeah, anybody else know? Jump in. I do know if you are using your, especially if you're, a guy that standing and peeing is easy. I mean, it's easy for women too. Just getting it all over yourself standing would not be easy. Anyway, if you're doing that, some people basically fertilize their fruit trees that way, and that's fine to do. Just don't do all of it at the same tree all the time, because you can actually get too much nitrogen to your tree. I have heard of that happening. So just be wary of always going to the closest tree because you can over fertilize your trees. I wouldn't do that on your garden. I would do that for fruit trees, kind of like how you can use gray water on fruit trees. By the time it gets to the fruit, anything that was bad for you is out of it basically. So anybody else care to weigh in on the urine discussion? I know. Okay, this is for deer. Bone sauce is something that people make, and there's videos online you can look at. I've never tried to do it, but it's a deterrent for deer. But honestly, I don't know that you're going to deter badgers, but I want to know why you're trying to. Because they're so nice. Okay. She just kept waddling on her way. What? Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, the badger. Yes, I've seen some pretty cool stuff in the field. Yeah. Yeah, they do not care. Yeah. Steve says maybe bear badgers, though. I don't think they truly have a predator they're afraid of. Bear badgers? Badgers aren't afraid of anything. Yeah, that's just in their nature. They're not afraid of anything. There's, in fact, there was an article that I read when I was doing my literature review years and years ago, as we already determined, that there was like a guy who was there, and there was a badger in the road, and the badger turned around and like tried to basically take on his truck. And it really does describe exactly how all of these collisions happen, is that they're probably defending themselves, right? They're probably like, oh, I can take you. I mean, there's videos online of, them going up against mountain lions and bears and all sorts of things. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe bear. Badger, though. Yeah. And my neighbor has a wildlife camera. My neighbor 2 properties down. I think a picture that she sent me might have a bear in milk. So there might be babies out there. I need to put my cameras up. Yeah, so my dad actually was that on, did we show that picture? Do you remember on the camera trap video that I did? I don't think we did. I think we talked about it though. Yeah, where I grew up in Central Oregon, we never had badgers. They just weren't a part of the landscape. And my dad recently, was it 2 years ago, got a picture of a badger on his camera traps in the backyard. And I think it was just one, right? It was just one and it went away. And they're solitary animals, and they go right through an area and then they're gone. It was probably a little disperser male that decided it was going to go somewhere and just do his dispersing, and who knows if it got anywhere. But yeah. Yeah, no, you did see some. So he says we had some possible badger dens here, but never saw any. So badgers will dig what's called a day use den. and they're only there for a day or two. Like they'll reuse them, but they don't stay there. They basically travel around, and then and they're solitary. If they're with someone else, then they're likely mom with kits, or maybe dispersing together for a little while, or two that have come together to mate. And but what you had is you did have one on camera. Yeah, but we've never seen him like in real life. Bowtie says, once we had a raccoon chewing on a chicken bone in our back porch. I came out and it screamed at me as if to say, get back in the house, and went back to his bone. No cares given. Yep. Thank you, Verna, keeping me on the clock. Bowtie says, yes, human urine helped with coyotes, bobcat, bear, raccoons, etc. It's a long list. Not deer. Yeah, so it's because we're a predator, right? But I'm sure our urine smells funny because we don't eat other things that predators eat, right? Like, other predators have very clear predator indicators in their scat, in their urine, and we have all sorts of processed junk. So who knows what ours smells like to the world out there, right? Yeah. When do you get to try the cookie dough? I'll try it for you. Make sure it's still good. Verse says reach to the screen and grab one. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Bowtie says, for 10 years our boys peed on different trees all the time. 3 months after youngest moved away and no peeing, we had a dozen coyotes fighting on our front porch. There you go. Yeah. My inclination is that they don't care. Just because of the way they move through the environment. They don't follow trails. They don't tend to follow any sensory things that we've identified, we as people. So that's just my assumption. If someone studies it and comes to a different result, let me know, because I would be interested. Tim's here, 340 Quail Farm. Welcome. Hey everyone. I had a determined fox last fall, and someone recommended predator urine. Thoughts? Okay, so that's something that we are talking about all sorts of stuff today. Yeah, it can work. I think a fox is going to be different than a badger. A fox pays more attention to its environment. Is a little bit more thoughtful about what it's doing. I think a badger is very much like doesn't care and just does what it wants. I don't know what to recommend. I know things are used as bait, so look up what's used as bait and don't use that. That's what I would say. Chanel number 5, the knockoff Chanel number 5 attracts mountain lions. It's in a study somewhere, so don't wear that. But yeah, I would say that could work. Something else. So 340, Tim, where was the problem? Because I would say that Chris was slightly redneck. He had a fox issue that was pulling quail down from his hutch and basically eating the legs. Very, very sad. And he ended up putting a little bit of electric fence around the bottom, and it was still kind of getting in. So, and you can decide whether or not this is good or bad. He put some peanut butter on some foil and put it on the fence, and shot the fox, and the fox didn't come back. So, you can decide for yourself what what level you want to go to. And then also let us know where it is. If it's digging into something, if it's breaking into something, because you might have some different options. I know also, I don't know how foxes relate to this, but flashing is used for coyotes, and that's just like there's lots of different kinds, and there's studies done on this that you guys can look up. But flashing is like, the stuff they tie on like grapevines. It's like waves in the wind, and it's metally, and it flashes. It looks like camera flashes. That is a deterrent for coyotes, and it works, but it works kind of shortish term. It doesn't work forever, but it might work long enough to, change some things. Yeah, Verna's saying to go pee on it. Not on the fox, please. But around though, it could help. Okay, Bowtie says back to Badger. They were getting the British lady's chickens, and we were discussing deterrence. It is a moot point. Her boyfriend was not willing to pee around the coop. Okay, so was the British lady in Europe, or was she here? 340. We talk about everything here, Tim. Because the badger that is here is the American badger. The badger that is in Europe is called the European badger. That makes sense. Here it's Taxidia taxus is the scientific name. Their badger is Mealy's mealy's. And their badger is much different. So their badger lives in groups, which are called setts, S-E-T-T-S. Our badgers in the United States live alone. So they're solitary, unless they have young or if they're mating. And so that's one difference. It's a big difference. And they're just different animals. They're different species. But the word badgering, so if someone is badgering you, it's just like they will not give up, and they are pushing you, right? So that word comes from a quote unquote sport, not a sport in my mind, and hopefully is not still done, hopefully. But that is when, and this is over in Europe, people would put a European badger into a barrel, turn it on its side, and send the dogs after it. And that is, if you feel like someone's doing that to you, then you're being badgered. Because the sport was called badgering. And by sport, I really do say that quite loosely. Yeah. All right. Okay. Steve says, Tim, try coyotes or mountain lion urine, though I don't think you can collect it yourself. Pay some neighborhood boys to pee around the place. I don't think you'll want to see that ad. You can. I'm not going to make any recommendation on application. Oh my gosh. Still unwilling, huh? All right. Food Forest Permaculture, welcome. We're talking about cookies, badgers, urine as a deterrent, urine as a timer. Is it 5 minutes now instead of 6? What else have we been talking about? Rabbits, all sorts of stuff. All right, these ones are cooling. I'm gonna put this on a plate. So I want to make sure these are completely cool before I put them in a bag. They're going to go to the bake sale with me in a Ziploc, and then we're going to individually kind of package them. Not individually package, but individually, whatever people buy, put them in a bag or whatever. On a napkin. Yeah. Okay. So this is the bottom. Okay. So I really love these stacking cookie racks. because they take up so much less room. And you can let your cookies cool longer than you would otherwise. Okay. Steve says, sounds like time for a new boyfriend for me. I can see the dating ad now. Must be willing to pee in the yard. Oh, Steve, you are funny. You are funny. And not only willing to pee in the yard, willing to go to the furthest tree. Bowtie says, I know that the pack of a dozen coyotes would not pass my line if pea marked trees after the porch fight. Oh my gosh. It really works on coyotes. Did little for raccoons. I'd imagine badgers similar to coyotes. Try it. I don't know why you would be discouraging their presence because I think they're pretty cool. But try it and report back. And the thing about badgers is they pass through an area and they don't stay very long unless for two reasons they stay. One is if they're overwintering. So they dig a bigger den in winter and they overwinter in that den, and they go through what's called torpor, which is similar enough to hibernation that if you want to equate it to hibernation, you can. But they basically wake up and go out on nice evenings, and it's the same thing bats do. Some bats hibernate, and I think most bats go through torpor, but it's going to depend on where they are. But yeah. Okay. Oh, good night, Mrs. Bowtie. Enjoy the pea talk. Okay, she was in England. Yeah, so that's a whole nother set, and I have some knowledge of that kind, but not as much as the American badger. I pretty much just know from what I've read. I've read a lot, but mostly on the American badger. So, yeah. Tim says, it came under the fence via the neighbor's side. Of course, the night I waited up with the suppressor, it magically never came back. Yeah. Hey, Tommy, the Aquatic News Network. Howdy, Earthlings. Howdy, Tommy. Hope you're doing well. Yes, they're different animals in Europe. And not only different animals, they're a totally different genus. So they are way different. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, had a temporary aviary set up for grow outs at the time. So did they break through the wire? Or did they dig under? Because I know with my aviary, I don't have one right now, but with my aviary, if you dig down like a foot and put in hardware cloth, then that's advisable. It's advisable because that will prevent them from digging under. But then also, if you had, if you like the hard ground that you're not going to dig, but an animal might, you might also lay some hardware cloth horizontally outside of the aviary, and that way, and maybe cover it over with a little bit of dirt. That way, when something tries to dig, it will, that's gonna hurt them, right? It's gonna be like, wow, I can't dig. That's not fun. I'm gonna go away now. And so that would be your goal with that. So, yeah. That's my advice. Is to do that, and then if you invest in an electric fence or electric, you can get little electric fence too. They don't have to be big. Then that would be a good idea. I will be doing that because I want to have bees, and I'll probably do that for like my animal areas, some of them too, because there's bears here. Yeah. All right. Bowtie says, sometimes it's just fun to turn a conversation into directions no one ever thought it would go. Which of you thought when you woke up you'd be talking about milk peeing in a bottle? There you go. Oh, pulled them through 1x2 hardware cloth. I recognize, or I recommend the 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware cloth because things have to be awfully small to get through that. And this cookie is halfway broken, which means it's broken. It's not half a broken. So I'm going to taste test it. Mmm. Always good. Okay. Oh, Verna has a question. Was it 1/2 inch by 1 inch, or was it 1 inch by 2 inch? Question for Tim. Hi, Shawnee. Shawnee's here. Welcome. Let us know where you're from, what you're growing. We've been talking about weird stuff today. I'm baking cookies that we made on the Sow and Tare live chat. The members this past weekend. And we've had all sorts of topics ranging all over the place. So anything you'd like to bring up is good for us. Okay, it was 1 inch by 2 inch, Tim. Yeah. So 1/2 by 1 is thicker wire, but he's talking about an aviary, Berna. He's not talking about the floor. He's talking about the walls of it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Oh, Shawnee has a food forest. Awesome. I am designing my food forest, and it is happening slower than I thought it would, but that's okay. We're getting there. This one fell. Mm-hmm. So Verna's talking about the wire to plant to a berry. You could do either one, but yeah, either one is going to be annoying. I mean, a bear is going to get through anything if it really wants to, but other than that, yeah. Food forest is a whole year old. Awesome. I had, what was it, like 11.5 years experience at my old place during urban homesteading, and it was a food forest, but it was not a food forest in the sense that I recognize the words now. I would say it's edible landscaping, and didn't have some of the components that I would say would be a food forest now, with all the 7 layers and stuff. Thank you, Verna, for putting that link. You chose things that came back after winter. That is good. Hey, who's here? Guidro's Family Farm. Who are we talking to? Everybody? Hi, guys. Welcome. A Thursday live. I'm actually able to be here. Every first Monday of the month is now going to be on Thursday. Not the day, not the whole day, just the live. Otherwise, we're Monday nights at 6 p.m. We're Thursday night, 6 p.m. If the Monday falls on the first of the first, someone say it correctly for me. If the Monday is the first Monday of the month, the live will be on Thursday. There we go. Yeah, so welcome. Welcome. It is, the timer's going. It's 45 seconds. And I have, I have these two little balls of cookie dough I'm going to save. But I'm going to get these ones off so I can put the next ones on and go from there. Is Christina and Aaron here listening? Hi, Christina and Aaron. Welcome. I know we have trouble. We're all good with each other. We're friends. We get all that. And their live is on Saturday, which I almost always miss because I'm doing something on Saturdays. So Saturdays and Sundays, there's a lot of things to do and get done. And then Mondays are bad for you. So there you go. Also, how is Mr. Lane? How is his recovery going? I have not been online very much, so I have not been keeping up with that. He broke his arm. All right. Oh, Comfrey survives with snow. Yeah. Okay, he is feeling a little bit better now that his fever finally. Wait. He had a fever too? My goodness. Poor kid. Thank you for putting the link to Guidro's, Verna. Okay, bow ties in Florida. Comfrey growing in full sun all the way to full shade. 0 cares given by the Comfrey. Well, plant it and call the badger. Oh no, Lucy's having a nightmare? I'm sorry. Luckily, Lane won't need surgery. So they just literally snapped it back in place and put a cast on it. Oh, Aaron has a fever. You guys need a break. You do. You need a break from things that require you to do things. Things that require you to not feel good. You need to feel better. Yeah. And then how are the bees doing over there? So the reason why I'm not doing Monday lives on the first Monday of the month is because I joined a bee group, Southern Oregon Beekeepers Association, I think is what it is. And they meet on the first Monday of every month. So that's why we're doing it on Thursday, because that was my available day. And so my plan right now is to get bees going next year. It's a really, really cool group. It's a really, really very cool group. People are so helpful. They had a full presentation. The meeting started with, and this is something that a lot of meetings miss, and I think is a great thing that they do it this way. Started with, hey, we're just going to have an hour of talking. Yeah, you can show up for that or not. And people can just chat about whatever, and usually it tends towards bees. But yeah, just talking. And I like that in a group because otherwise you're just doing these strict things. So yeah. All right. Lane has the broken arm. It's been a time around here. I know, man. Goodness. Well, hopefully, Christina, you stay healthy. No bees to the eyeballs, okay? I guess it wasn't your eyeball, but also don't do that. Tommy says, random topic change, but the algorithm has changed. The best way people can help to boost channel's growth now is to watch another video of the same channel after the one you're viewing. All right, everybody do that, please. Thank you, Tommy. This shows YouTube that there is more traffic on that channel and they'll push them out and more in the open. That's good. Thank you. Yeah, you don't have enough work. Exactly. Sorry, bow tie. Bees are doing good, doing their bee things. Awesome. So the people here, I did not set my timer. The last one of the batch, and I didn't set it. Does anybody know how long it's been? Don't go back and look. I will get it out. So the one of the guys, we actually got into a hive, and well, there was a bunch of people, so we were like far away, and they were showing us stuff. But I could identify the queen cells and the drone cells from distance. You said set the timer. Oh, guys, it's okay. It's almost done. It probably is done. I'll put it out. So, anyway, so got to see, they got into the hives, and we got to see all sorts of stuff. Don't think this is quite done, so I'm going to leave it on there for a little bit. And it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of information, a lot of learning, and there's someone local here that is taking me under their wing. And but the guy who was getting into the hive said that there's already been hives that have split twice this year. Like there's so much nectar in the area that they split, and that's normal for them to split, in the spring, things are blooming, there you go. And yeah. Okay, so I got him out okay. Thanks, guys. And then they have also reared another queen and split again. So there's been some of that. So that's pretty interesting, I think. For sure. So anyway, I'm learning a bunch of stuff with that. I know Verna or Steve, would you mind trying to find, it's on the lives, it's under the lives, just search Aaron, because his name is in the title. I did a live chat with Aaron of Gaudreau's Family Farm on there, and so he gave a bunch of bee information on that. And then I actually spent some time before I left Gilroy. I spent some time with someone out of San Jose that has a business with bees in people's yards, and I did a whole bunch of recording, and I have to see if it's backed up because my external hard drive dropped and became inaccessible, so I sent it off with Best Buy data recovery. So hopefully I get that back, because there was a lot of information there. And I mean, we visited so many hives that day. Like we did hive checks for for a whole bunch of them, including one on a roof of a Four Seasons hotel. So that's pretty cool. What are you doing? Control G. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Verna. Okay. Bowtie says, my bee guy said the same thing. Every one of his hives have split at least once this year. It has been a weird year. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, as nice as European bees are for the honey, the amazing bees really are the native bees. They strive through a whole bunch of stuff. They're out there foraging, sometimes in the rain. They are go-getters because they have to be, because they don't really make, whole combs of honey. And the other day on the lilac, I saw 4 different kinds of bumblebee, which is pretty impressive. Control G on Yahoo would shake your screen. I can do that. Anyway, it was a nice thing. Started at like 5:15 with the chatting. Went out and checked the hives. And then, I mean, it went until 8 something. I stopped at Lowe's and I got home after 10. So it's an hour away. So, I mean, it's a good long time. It was a really fulfilling talk, which is awesome. Let me go get my peanut butter cookie dough, which is just around the corner. Now, these I did not pre-ball. So we'll see how this goes. And for these, we're doing 300 for 10 minutes. So we're going to go off, bake, 300. Start. Oops. Cancel. Bake. Minus. Start. I'll probably just open this for a little bit. Ooh, that's hot. All right, Bowtie says, so many bees swarmed while I was working 20 feet away from the box, and the swarm flew above me and landed in a tree 3 feet from where I was working. Bee guy came and got them. I have a video of that swarm. Yep, it happens. When I was in Gilroy, I had my neighbor had 2 beehives, and both of them swarmed within a couple days of each other. And I saw one pretty close after they started. On the other one, I saw the initial like stream of bees coming up from the other side of the fence, and it was awesome. Let me see, formed in small balls and flattened onto ungreased cookie sheet with fork. Yeah, we all know peanut butter cookie has the fork design, right? So I will smush after I do this. But when I was doing that, I didn't have a bee suit, which I will be getting a bee suit. I didn't have a bee suit, and I don't know what the best way is to do this. Just use my hands. I just washed them. So I didn't have a bee suit. I didn't have like the veil or anything, and so what I did have was, see if I don't know what your link is to. What I did have is a delicates bag for the laundry, and so I put on a hat, and I put that over my hat, a brimmed hat. I put it over my hat, and I zipped it up to my neck, and that was my veil, and it worked. It was small enough, holes, so it worked. Yeah. All right, Verna says I made a different recipe on peanut butter cookies that you don't need to use the fork. You don't have to use the fork. It's just, it makes it the right thickness for the cooking time. I think that's all it does. Unless there's special fork powers I didn't know about. Yeah. Bowtie says, yeah, at 2, oh, that's your video. Okay. At 2:21, the bees are even doing the flappy thing. Yeah, so when they find out that the queen is in the box or where the queen is, they will, some of it's called fanning. They will fan their wings, and they'll just stand at the entrance and go like this. And basically it fans the pheromones to the world. And it's really interesting because the rest of the colony, is it called the colony? Somebody correct me if it's not called the colony. The rest of the ladies, and probably the boys, will just like they're doing whatever they're doing, and once they get that pheromone scent, they just go and go right into, it's just like a scary movie. Scary movie, like, someone turned on the order. I'll have to watch that later. All right. Verna says the recipe I was talking about. It's easier once they're already balls, huh? Makes them more buttery, and they melt out like chocolate chip cookies do. Yeah, these have butter in them, but yeah, there's lots of different recipes. So you're saying that you don't have to help flatten them because they flatten themselves. That works. Actually, I don't think these have butter in them. I think they have shortening on butter. Fork helps flatten the cookies and ensure they bake evenly. Plus, it tells everyone it's peanut butter. That's kind of true, right? Like it's like the tattoo of the peanut butter cookie. Yeah. Bowtie says is laughing. You're good, Katrina. You're translating Bowtinese on the fly and in real time. Fanning. That's what I was supposed to say. Hey, you know what? If we didn't make up words, we wouldn't have a language. I make up words all the time, and you'll see it in videos, and I just go right by it and I say, that's a word now. And nobody's challenged me on it yet. If they do, my answer is all words are made up at one point, except for hella, because that's a stupid word. People don't even use it, right? It's supposed to be hell of a, it's a hell of a deal. That's not how it's even used. Anyway, except for that word. Yeah, you make the ball space apart. Uses a third of the flour than the usual recipe. So it's mostly butter. Is that what you're saying? Making butter cookies? Okay, let's move everybody over a little bit. Now, these are only in the oven for 5 minutes, so not 5 minutes, 5 minutes each shelf. And it's taking me more than 5 minutes to make these. So I think I'm going to start with a couple of full trays first. Hella good. Okay, that's not how you're supposed to use it. That's hell of a good. Okay, hell of a good something. Maybe. Anyway. Identification of a peanut butter cookie is important for people with allergies to nuts. Exactly. Now, while I am making the peanut butter after I made the Mrs. Fields, it counts for some people, but it doesn't count for other people because it's still in the same kitchen. And, there could be consequences of that, even if the material isn't touching. Which part of this? I guess that's the back side of that. Some people are more susceptible to that, and some people are less susceptible to that. Now, when I was little, I was allergic to peanut butter, and I would break out around my mouth, and now I don't. So I ate peanut butter anyway. I don't know. Maybe my dad can chime in. What was the conversation behind the scenes on that one? That was before everybody was allergic to everything. So I think people beat allergies in my era. Yeah. Steve says, so officially, as Katrina has peanut butter in use in her kitchen, the other cookies can't be eaten for serious allergies. Exactly. And I would say at any bake sale that you're having for a group and it's in people's kitchens, you're not going to have... If I were a serious allergy person, I wouldn't ask, is this? I would just assume that it's all, that something has been affected, Okay, we're going to put her recipe for the... I was like, where's the peanut butter? For the peanut butter cookies. Yeah, forgot that ingredient. Yeah, I was like, where's the peanut butter? I was like, I thought this was a recipe for peanut butter cookies, but where's the peanut butter? So we found the peanut butter. Yeah. So my topic was going to be rabbits, but we kind of covered that, and as well as a lot of other things. Yeah, the key ingredient you forgot. Exactly. I don't know if this rolls better now or if it would have rolled better before it was refrigerated. I did take these out so they are close to room temperature. But you can, I have not frozen the peanut butter ones, but I have frozen the Mrs. Field ones, and they are delicious just frozen. But they also, I mean, all you have to do is bring them up to room temperature, and then you have, cookie dough again. So, yeah. Okay. In the old days, this is from Steve. If you had an allergy, you got over it by eating it anyway and dealt with the side effects. As long as it wasn't serious on the onslaught. And I think that's, there are some people that would just be allergic no matter what. But I think a lot of what's happening these days is people aren't exposed to all these things. Maybe they're not exposed early enough, or maybe at the first sight of there being a reaction, the parents are like, no, don't do that. And I'm not a doctor, and so these are just opinions. But there've always been people that have serious allergies, but it seems like there was less people that had those serious allergies. Aaron's allergic to taxes. I see. Well, I live in Oregon, and we have property tax, but we don't have sales tax. So maybe you should move to Oregon. Brenna says, if one is allergic to peanut butter, they can't even be in the same plate. I mean, people have different measures of, or different severities of allergies. Not every allergy is anaphylactic, but there's some that have anaphylactic. Yeah. And nuts are more like there's a lot of people that are allergic to nuts. Peanut butter is not made. Peanuts are not nuts. Peanuts are legumes. They're closer related to peas than nuts. Which is interesting. Have anybody grown peanuts? Because I grew peanuts once, and they grow very interestingly. They flower these little, I think they're little yellow flowers, and then they actually, once they're pollinated, they grow, and it's called a peg, and it grows, and then it grows down into the ground. And so, people dig out the peanuts and they think it's a root, but it's not. It's actually a fruit of the flower that went underground, which is why it's not not a nut. So, Bowtie says, speaking of taxes, I think you need to run spell check on your thesis. Yeah, Taxidia taxus is the species, the genus and species name of the American badger. All right, I'm going to do the fork thing. Yeah, this doesn't squish as well once it's been in the refrigerator. I will say that. It's probably going to come out a little crumbly. I'm going to guess it dried a little bit. Oops, while it was in the refrigerator. And these are going to be small. Well, we'll go on with small cookies. Okay. Yeah, Taxidia taxus. I think it's fun to say. So, okay, this one's going in for 5 minutes while I do the other ones. Too late to spell check it now? Yeah, way too late. I mean, that thing went through so many people, though. It probably has nothing wrong with it now. I want to grow peanuts, Bowtie says. I think I can pull it off sand. Absolutely. Yeah, sandy conditions is perfect for peanuts. Because it allows it it's easy for the peg to get in, and then it's also, I'm going 5 minutes. It's also a really good, like it drains. It has good drainage. So yeah, absolutely. And there is, Bowtie, there's a specific kind of peanut that's not, it's not like your typical peanut, but Who has it? I don't remember who the guy is, but look up like peanut varieties in Florida, and there's one that's a ground cover. People use it as a ground cover and not necessarily as food because it makes a good ground cover. And check that out. It's in Florida. What is the guy? Is his name Pete? You guys know who I'm talking about? He does like edible landscaping setups for people. I don't remember his name. Anyway, you should be able to find it pretty quick, or find the variety pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not picking away my masters. Yeah, that's not happening. They won't even change my name on it, so there you go. Lane grew peanuts a few years ago. Awesome. Did he grow the typical variety, or like there's some purple varieties, or do you even remember? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So a few years ago, but not again. Like it wasn't worth it, or it was fun once, or just you didn't get to it again. Bowtie says we have a very unusual sand here. It is the absolute best draining sand in the Americas. Only a couple hours after a 5-inch storm, and it is dry sand again. Yep. Sounds like it might benefit from some organic matter, but having the sand, anything pea related will grow pretty well, or should grow pretty well. I've also heard plums do well in sandy conditions, and I don't know why. I don't know why that's in my head, so you might fact check that one. Yeah, I don't know why that's in my head, but yeah. Regular peanuts from M.I. Gardner. Okay, it was fun once. Yeah. Perennial peanut. There we go. That was easy to Google, wasn't it? Now, I don't remember if the peanut has any, if it's big or anything, or if it's tasty. I just know it. I just know it's a peanut that grows in Florida. That's my extent of my knowledge of that. Okay, Bowtie's familiar with that one. Carted over 130 yards of well-composted horse bedding manure. That's going to be good manure, for sure. Rabbits would give you really good manure. Goats will give you good manure. Llamas, alpacas. If you know anybody that has any of those, pick up their poo, and it'll be a good decision. Yeah. So the manure is manure in any species is going to be good. I mean, I wouldn't maybe do carnivore species or people, but it will eventually break down and get to stuff. But there's some more disease potential with that. But any animal that you're raising, or fish poo, like if you're cleaning out a freshwater aquarium, put that aquarium water out there. Salt water, maybe not. Yeah, it's good. Any of the birds, any of the chickens and quail and stuff like that are going to have hot manure. Ducks and geese are a little less hot. So the hot manures you need to compost some before you put it into the system, because otherwise it will burn your plants. It'll look burnt, act burnt. It's not actually going to catch fire. But that is the case. All right, ground peanuts, Southern Runner and Flow Runner are good for ground cover. Cool. And Bowtie says, I recently put out a call locally for rabbit poo on some local Facebook groups. No responses yet. You might have to find that yourself. Like, search and maybe look and see if there's any, maybe you search up some rabbitries. They probably already have uses for that. Thank you, Verna. They probably already have places to put it, whether it's their own garden or someplace else. So these cookies are 10 minutes, so I'm leaving 5 minutes each tray. And then putting 5 minutes on the timer. So that's what I would do is I would search up rabbitries, or maybe look for people that have rabbits, like if it's on Craigslist. Look for people who are selling rabbits and then ask them, hey, do you sell rabbit manure? And the answer is either going to be yes, no, or, well, not so far, but sure. That's what I would do, because sometimes when you go out and ask for something, people aren't looking to give, they're looking to get. And so if you look for people who are offering things that you know would be in the same category, i.e. rabbits, then you're more likely to find some place that has rabbit poo. So that's what I would do. Good luck. Okay. So we have one more tray. I'm going to wash my hands, bag these, or put them on a plate or something. All right, what are we talking about while I do this? Bowtie says, I have 2 neighbors on my block with 21 chickens between them, but they both use the poo to compost in their own gardens. Exactly. Well, it sounds like you need to invest in some animals. Get some animals going. That would be a good answer. Okay, I'm back. Steve says people that raise rabbits as pets don't know how valuable it is. Also, a local pet store, absolutely. You volunteer to clean the rabbit cages in return for the manure. Yeah, as long as there's not a liability thing with that, that would work. And yeah, that's definitely true. Is pets, and I mean, look at 4-H maybe. I don't know what is popular there. If it's 4-H or if there's other things, you can look for rabbit shows. I've never done rabbit shows. I don't know. I'm not into that. A lot of people are into that, but I'm not. Live in a very touristy area. There is very limited ag stuff of any kind here. A couple hours north, that changes. I may need to start venturing out. Losing my equestrian center. Yep. So venture out, see what you can get, and go from there. Well, these were going to be all nice and pretty in a bag, but that's out the window now. Yeah, I would say goats would be another likely thing that you might find. Just because people have them kind of more as pets. And maybe looking at, animals that people have more as pets would be a good idea. Because that way you will have a variety, right? So one rabbit is going to make a lot of poo, but you can use more than one rabbit's poo, right? So you can have more than one contact for your poo. Yeah. All right, this is ready to go in a bag. Okay, so yeah, if you're in a touristy area, people are going to have probably more pets than farm animals. Although it sounds like, chickens are a thing. Just start driving around and listening for chickens. Right? No? Okay. Bowtie says, I predict in 2 years that the equestrian center will be nothing but multi-million-dollar homes. Yeah. As for a security guard at the gate will let you see, it is currently surrounded by gated community. Yeah, there's a lot of houses going in a lot of places. And I know one of the interesting things that I don't know if it's a trend, but most interesting things that I have seen is that they go in a minute, that they'll go into an area and basically retire a school and make it into houses. And it's like, well, if that happens, then I mean, you're not getting that land back in that community, right? You're not going to convert houses to school. And that was a big swath of land that if you ever wanted to go back to a school there, it wouldn't happen. Not easily. So yeah. Oh, thank you. And these stay on for a minute more, and then they go on the tray. Thanks, guys. I just said it. I just said it right now. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, and so losing schools and losing that community land, right? So that's something that someone's taxes have paid towards. This is not working. That's something that someone's taxes have paid towards, not someone, but the whole community. And then all of a sudden, the schools get sold off for houses, and it's just like that doesn't make any sense to me because you can't get that size of land back once it becomes, inner city or whatever. But that's just what I've observed. Other people may observe different things. Okay. Oh, you guys are clamoring, huh? So, those are good. We'll make it good. All right. So, what are some other topics you guys want to talk about? Because we've run the gamut today. Are you guys doing anything special for Mother's Day? My mom is not going to be in the same area I am, so I made her a Mother's Day bouquet, which, if you have seen today's video, that is her bouquet. And that's typically what I do for her. And I know that sounds funny to some people, but for birthdays, for anybody, my mom will call and say, hey, what kind of cake do you want? And then she'll make it. And then if you're not there, like even when I was off to college, then they would eat it. So yeah. She can enjoy the bouquet at my house. You've been trained by Erin. Oh my gosh. Mama Dad's back. Just got back from Remy. Remy is my parents' doggie. I'm guessing that was her final walk of the evening. Oh, good. Brenna's daughter and her going out to lunch with grandson. Awesome. All right. Bowtie says it's getting late. It is late where you are. You're 3 hours more than me. Have another task I gotta do for bed. Mrs. Bowtie already in bed. She got the Shire Lego set for Mother's Day. There you go. Oh, Steve. Don't have a mom anymore. I'm now an orphan. So I'm going to visit my sister for Mother's Day. That is a good plan. Yeah. My dad says last walk of the day, probably only 2 walks tomorrow since it's supposed to be almost 90. Is it really? I haven't checked the temperature predictions here. Is it for me too? Why 90? That's not a good thing. Protect your garden plants, guys, from heat and cold, apparently. Okay. Turned out good. A little more crumbly than usual. And it's about to happen again, so let me, there we go. Move this. All right. Oh, bow ties in Central Time. Okay. Ooh, Verna's birthday and Mother's Day on the same day. There you go. That's good. That's good. Good night, Bowtie. Thank you for coming. Good questions. Oh, whose birthday? Oh yeah, her birthday. Okay, I was like, wait, whose birthday again? But yes, Verna's birthday on Saturday. On Sunday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Verna. I made some cookies for you to look at. Happy birthday. Okay. So, I'm running out of space. I guess I can move this over. Move over, move over. All right. Okie doke. Where are we? It's supposed to be 82 for me tomorrow. Well, we'll see if the ladies get bred again. I'm planning on breeding. I need to actually look at how old the babies are. I know they're more than 2 weeks old. Rigatoni and risotto are next to be bred, and then that was going to be the last breeding of the year of the rabbit year of the summer. But we'll see if Percy's little swimmers are still doing good. Cookies to look at. Yeah, see? But Verna has her own to eat. So here, Verna, ready? Open up. Does it taste good? This one's falling apart. Yummy, she said. So, I think in the future, I think number one, I'm going to make these a little bigger so they hold together a little longer or a little better. But I think in the future, probably cooking the peanut butter ones right away instead of putting them in the refrigerator is probably going to be better because I think they dried out a little bit. They taste really good, but they are more crumbly and they're soft. So these peanut butter cookies, I love this recipe, and they come out soft. I don't think I've done this recipe on. If I did a peanut butter cookie recipe on the channel, then it's this recipe. But I don't think I've done it. I think I have done the Mrs. Fields cookies, I think. But if you join the channel, then you can rewatch all the live chats for the membership, and you can make things along with us live as well. So there's 2 good things. And it's a lot of fun. And we're not always going to do sweets. We've done sweets twice in a row, so we're going to do a rabbit stew this next time, which can be a chicken stew or a quail stew. You can do whatever meat you want or no meat. Oh, Amy brought Verna 15 dozen? Awesome. How do I cook without the timer police? PJ is my timer police on the Cook With Me lives. Don't worry, that happens. No, it's just with I asked them to do that because I know I'm talking and I'm distracted, and I'd rather not burn all the cookies that I'm making. So far, none, which is good. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, quail eggs. I miss quail eggs. I thought I was going to have my infrastructure set up sooner than I do now, but I don't. So it's just the way it is. And that's okay. I have been using my freeze-dried eggs, which work for everything except for no, she's not fired yet. She's not fired yet. No, it's on 30 seconds. That beep was the 1 minute warning. The what was I saying? I got distracted by my dad's comment. I don't know what I was saying. Need to get these off though, so I can get the other one out. Do 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 do. All right. There's the beeper. Oh, thank you, Steve, for putting the link there. If you want to be a Katrina's kit, which is what the members are called, Steve actually named that. Then click on that link, and we do a monthly live. It's a live chat. It's a Cook With Me live. And the Cook With Me live, I mean, you guys can suggest things to make. I suggest things to make. We make them together. We do recipes I'm familiar with, recipes I'm not familiar with. We make mistakes together. We fix things together. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And it gets us cooking some things that we don't normally cook. And if you're new to cooking or new to baking or new to, anything like that, then there's, we can help you through that. And you can learn along with us, and it's a safe place to learn some of these things and ask some questions and all of that. So if you don't have to know anything. I will tell you everything, all the ingredients that you need and all the equipment that you need when we're making things. So you don't have to already know what you're supposed to have. And that's my goal, is to, the saying of the channel is, you guys remember? Learn. You guys remember? Come on. Somebody say it. Somebody say it. Learn, grow, feast. So we're learning how to do things. We're growing the things that we're going to feast upon, and we're growing our knowledge, and then we're feasting. We're reaping our success. So there we go. All right. One more here, and then I'm going to flatten them. Then we'll check comments. Nothing's in the oven right now. Now I could have pre-rolled these. That's probably what I should have done. I probably should have pre-rolled these, but I was done at that point. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, that didn't squish very well at all. I mean, it squished great. It just crumbled. I guess we need to define what squishing great means, huh? Is squishy? Okay. So Others are ready to come off. There we go. There we go. One more. And into the oven. Timer. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. She still does it. There you go. Oh, you have a timestamp on the live. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you forgot to do your notification? Yeah, I forgot until last night, and honestly, I've had so many things going on. I've been doing some last minute stuff. The solar here, they commissioned it earlier in the week, and what that means is they started up, making sure it was going, and then it worked fine. And then so they called for inspections, and inspections were supposed to be today, but yesterday, I guess the county called the solar guys and said that they'd have to wait until Friday. So now it's set for Friday. So there we go. All right. Steve says, I was just sitting here wondering if I remembered you changing the trays in the oven. Yep. No, nothing got changed because it wasn't ready yet. Did I dip the fork in sugar? No, you don't have to do that. It's not in the recipe, but you don't have to do that for recipes that they don't stick. So this recipe doesn't stick to the fork unless you want more sugar on your sugar. Timer's going. It's at 4 minutes. 4-minute timer. Yeah. So I'm going to ask my dad a question. Have you found, or have you seen anything interesting on your camera traps lately? My neighbor sent me a picture from one of her camera traps. I need to put up mine. That I think it is a bear in milk, which is pretty cool. I did do it. So I think that's what she has. And she's 2 properties away from me. So, and I know there's at least one bear that is on my property up the hill a little bit. At least at some point. I haven't seen any fresh poops, but I did see tracks in snow, and I've seen old poops. Yeah. But hopefully no issues. But I'm pretty sure that's what I saw in the picture. I don't think my dad's on anymore. So Steve, I hope you're doing something fun. I'm not in on, or I haven't been checking things, so maybe I'm supposed to know and I don't. But if I'm not supposed to know, then that's fine. But you said you're going to their sister's, so I'm guessing that has to do with that. So have fun at your sister's. That'll be good. My dad says lots of rabbits and deer, just a few coyotes, no neighborhood cats at least. I type slow. That is okay. When am I adding chicken? So not to the cookies, but to the property. So I have my 3 girls, and I plan on getting more chickens once I get once the enclosure for the run is up, and that has been delayed by nobody but me. Like, I just haven't gotten the information to the fence company. No excuse, just I've been busy which is a true excuse. But once that happens, I'm hoping, actually, I don't know if geek roses are still on, but I'm hoping to order some American breasts from them. But it needs to, I need to make sure I have infrastructure first. And at this point, for chicken, the habitat is going, stuff is going to be in place faster for that than for quail. So it will be chickens first. But once the quail get going, I mean, they get going very fast. So, with quail, you're going to have, everybody in eggs by week 8 for sure. And, before that for some of them. But, yeah, you're going to have really fast turnaround for them. So I'm not as concerned for that, but I do want to make sure I have the right habitat. Now for chickens, Erin's still here. Yay! Erin, when I'm ready, like, I don't know when, maybe sometime this summer, I'd like to order some American breast eggs from you guys if you still have them. And so yeah, when I'm ready, each species is different when I'm ready. So like the rabbits already have their hutches. They need improvement still. I've made some improvements, and not all of them. Yes, you will see that video eventually, Steve. Well, if I get my information back, there'll still be a video though. Awesome, thanks, Erin. But it does take. Actually, I'll ask Erin. How long does it take the American breasts to lay eggs? Is it 6 months? It's usually about 6 months for chickens from hatch. And that is, Ian, someone time it? Anybody? Oh no, it says, never mind, it says 3. No, it says 300. That's the temperature. I need help. Yeah, 4 to 6 months. Okay, so they're faster than potentially than for a lot of chickens. Because I don't remember exactly how long it took my girls to lay, but I think most breeds it's around 6 months, which is a whole lot more than a quail. But chickens do a different job. So a reason I would want chickens is, one, people know what chicken eggs are. Sometimes people don't buy quail eggs because they're like, oh, it's too cute to eat. And I don't know how many times I have heard that. Ridiculous. Or not only that they're cute, but that they don't know, and like people just don't know that you can eat eggs that aren't chicken eggs, and it doesn't make any sense to me why that would be. Thank you, Verna. 3 minutes. Can you tell me when to move it? Thank you. And yeah, so that's something that's going on, is understanding how long it takes to get things. And I'm just under the assumption that just for this summer, things are just going to be wacky. My girls right now are they're having a long molt. I had some quail do that at some point, some older quail. So I'm wondering if chickens, when they get older, they're only 4 years old, well, 4.5 now. But they're having a long molt. And so I think that might be part of it. I think part of it is they're living in the coop, and they are getting light, and they are getting, light from the windows as well. But I'm wondering if just not getting enough certain kind of light, maybe, I don't know. But they're doing okay. And then, but they are getting older, so I don't know how long. I don't know how that works with. I know their egg production goes down, but I know last year it went down a little bit. Rexy was on par with all the whole time. But the other two, their laying went down a little bit starting last year. But I'm expecting to have some eggs, but not maybe a whole lot. And then if you actually raise chickens in the summer or fall, by the time they're old enough, you have them start laying pretty early. And instead of like a lot of people get chickens in the spring, but they don't lay for 4 to 6 months, let's say, then they will get they'll they're going to start laying, and then a couple months later they'll just stop laying because of the light or temperatures or whatever. This is also the first year that they've really experienced winter temperatures, more than what they basically grew up with. So yeah. Okay. A single window, not enough light. Yeah, they have a couple windows, and they were laying. So like they were laying. Berta says they need direct light. They don't need direct sunlight, and I have lights in there. I mean, my other girls never really got direct light. They were in the shade the whole time. I mean, they got light, but it wasn't, like sunlight directly on them. Okay, it's time. Thank you. So yeah, I'm fine with saying, I'm fine with accepting that they just might not be in the exact right conditions right now. And I recognize that that's my fault because I haven't done timer. I haven't done the run and stuff like I wanted to, and I want to put like kind of like a net over the top because we have predators here, Yeah. Yeah. You haven't seen the coop, just layer boxes. Yeah, I mean the layer boxes is pretty much, it's not even the length. The length of it doesn't even show up in one shot. It has, I don't know how many boxes. There's like 15 boxes or something like that. And there's windows on 3 sides. And there are deep litter in there. It's a bigger space than what they were in Gilroy when they were city chickens. It's a bigger space, but and they have laid. They were laying, when I got here, and then they laid after winter for a very little bit, and then there's feathers everywhere. They're molting. Well, Overraptor's not molting, but the other two are, or other one. Rexy already molted. I think she's done. I think it's Smilo now, but they're still not doing it. Rexy was wanting back scratchies, which means that she's laying or about to lay, and then she stopped wanting them. So I think there's something going on with that. Next time I go into town, I'm going to get some feather fixer. I think I can get that at Tractor Supply, which has some nutrients in it that I can add to, I guess, add it to the water, right? I did recently change the feed because my neighbors were saying that they changed the feed, and after they went through bag, their ladies picked up. So it might have been a feed issue too. So we'll see about that. I just started them on different feed. I don't remember, like a week ago or something. My timing might be off, but yeah, it could be a number of things, but also realizing that they're 4.5 years old, and that's not necessarily the ideal age for that. And my goal would be, when you get eggs to hatch, you're going to get an unknown amount of males and females. And when you get an unknown amount of males and females, it's called, it's straight run, but that would be if you're getting babies, and I would be hatching them. And so if you have unknown amount of males and females, what I would do is I would keep one male. Tell me if I should keep 2 males, but I would keep one male and enough females to, keep him busy, and include my ladies in that. And am I right, Aaron? American breast has white eggs. Is that right? Because my current ladies have brown eggs, and I would be able to tell then which ones belong to them and which ones belong to the others. And so any kind of decorative lentils and rice. Thank you, Verna. I need to do that. Any decorative breeds, I guess, breeds that aren't those American breasts would be. I would aim to have their eggs be not white, just so I can know which one's which. Like it doesn't matter to me if the male is over the decorative ones. It would just be having being able to like sell those eggs like locally, or just as that. I don't know if I need to do that. It's kind of what I'm thinking right now, but yeah. Okay, going back up. My dad says I would guess the coop is maybe 10 by 20 feet. It's probably 10 feet wide. Yeah, like by maybe 15 or 20 the other direction. Yeah, I think so. Jacob's back. I didn't know you left. I just thought you went silent. Welcome. You missed quite the conversation, Jacob. You should really go back and listen. Quite the conversation. Okay, these are cooked and I haven't taken them off yet. I need to do that in 13 seconds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Collapse. All right. So, oh, actually, let me just pop this up. Nothing coming out. Just one going in. And yes, I'm still making cookies. Okay. Yes, give them lentils and rice. I know. So that was something that was a Purina several years ago that had a nutrition defect or deficiency, and that was something that added. So I should do that. Is it white rice, Verna? I think it's white rice, right? Always keep a spare. Always keep a spare, but I would wonder how that would happen without keeping more ladies. Because isn't it like a... See, chicken ratios I'm not as familiar with because I've only ever had ladies. Okay, either will work. Okay. And for those that don't know what we're talking about, Verna, do you remember what the nutrient is? There's a nutrient that if you give your birds lentils and rice, cooked lentils and rice, you don't want to give your birds raw rice, that they would then get those nutrients that is sometimes missing from bagged food. Yeah, this one is messed up. You don't remember, it's a vital mineral to laying eggs. There you go. Yeah, I think it was with the feathers too, though, right? I don't want something with feathers. Yeah, she says. Okay, cool. I need to get a glass of milk. This might be my dinner. I've been snacking enough on it. Yeah. Oatmeal if you want more fat. Okay. Well, right now my girls have some rabbit guts and a squash along with their regular food. So tomorrow they'll get more rabbit guts. Sacrificial cookies are the best, says my dad. Absolutely. If you and Remy were here, we could have sacrificial cookies together. Mm-mm. Okay. Yeah, so as far as the getting more animals goes, it's not going to happen for a while. Chickens will be first, and I'll get eggs. Hopefully, then quail. I would like to get some ducks once the food forest is active, but that's going to be a while. I would like to get goats for landscapers. That might not be till next year. So, there you go. Okay, Vernon says oatmeal and cornmeal for quail. Oatmeal for cornmeal for quail. Oh, oatmeal and cornmeal for quail. Oatmeal for rabbits for more milk production. Yeah, oatmeal, and is it black sunflower seeds too? My girls are good on the milk production for sure. Yeah, they're doing quite good on their milk production, feeding 10 and 11 babies. And oh my gosh, you guys, Rigatoni, she has some chunkers. Because she's she had 9 babies, but one died and three of them were stillborn. So she has 5 kits that are alive, and they are all chunkers. She has so much milk; they are just always full, and they're so freaking cute. Yeah, treat Houston. That's why you treat them to the some oatmeal. They're doing good without it, honestly, but they're doing really good. Something else I need to do. So grass in the pasture, not pasture, well pasture too, but in the hayfield is starting to really grow to a way that I can, well, that it couldn't be identified. Raw oatmeal. That's a good clarification. Raw oatmeal. Not you're not cooking them oatmeal with like maple syrup or anything. Thank you. I forgot what my train of thought was. Oh, the grass. So grass is starting to head up on some of the varieties. So what I should be doing is I should be taking pictures of them and maybe even pressing them into a book, because I want to know what I have. And once I know what I have, then I'll know what I need to do, if I should leave it alone, if I need to get some different grasses in there, if it's good. But something that thank you, Verna, and say hi to Lucy. And good night if you're going. Thank you. But I had one of the wildlife people out, and I asked about the hayfield, and he said that there is something that you can pull behind a tractor and use, and I forget what he called it, but basically that rakes out, and it's not a raker because that does something else. It rakes out the like the old grass. So like the pasture hasn't, nothing's been grazed in a couple of years. So there's basically old grass in there that is matting is kind of blocking out the sunlight for a lot of things. So that's what I was looking at for advice for that. And is it threshing? I think it might be called the thresher. Someone let me know if that's true or not. So I need to check in with some neighbors and see if they have whatever that attachment is, because I know there have a couple neighbors with tractors. Yeah. Otherwise, I might be out there raking my field. All right. Good night to my dad. He says good night. All enjoy. We will. Oh my gosh, it's 8:20. Thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. We're having a good conversation today. And it's helpful to have people to talk to when I'm doing all of this baking. And timekeepers. Oh. So, Steve, how far away is your sister that you're going to? Are you going on a big trip or a little trip? Hopefully, it's a good trip, no matter what. And I just found out that the National Heirloom Expo is not happening this year for economic reasons. It's always done at a cost to Baker Creek, so they don't make money on it. What they do make money on is, new customers and stuff that they get there, loyal customers that they get there. But it's just not, it doesn't make financial sense this year to do it. I don't know if that's going to continue in future years or if they're going to choose a different venue for future years or not. Historically, it's been in Santa Rosa, California, and the last 2 years, I think, it's been in at the Ventura County. Ventura County? Yeah, Ventura County Fairgrounds. And so 650 miles, that's a good distance. So I know that decision kind of made some people upset from Santa Rosa because like they could go every day from their place. And there were some really good speakers from there and really good like people who know their stuff that just are a wealth of knowledge in Santa Rosa. And a lot of those vendors didn't go to the one in Ventura County because it cost them money, So I don't know what's happening with that. I know Quail and Homesteading Convention is not happening. I do know the Geed Roses and Kelly, and I don't remember the third people. Anyway, you guys are putting on a convention this summer. And I'm still thinking about whether or not I'm going to go anywhere because honestly, I've spent so much money this year on doing things here that I kind of think I need to stay home and get stuff done and save some money. Well, not save some, spend money on other things. But yeah, Moline, Illinois. I know where that is. But did I just say Illinois? It's not Illinois, it's Illinois. Okay. This is going over here. And this is coming out. So I'm trying to evaluate that right now. It might be that I skip everything this year because making this move and getting everything in order has been quite the task. And all of that. So, okay, there's the name. The Gulf Coast Homesteading, this year's replacement for QuailCon. Yep. Nothing in the oven. Correct. Thank you. And Steve, you can put the link for that if there's a link. You can put the link for that in here. Because I do support it, for sure. I'm just wondering if I'm going to attend anything this year. Okay, I need more racks. Actually, what I need to do is I need to do a little forking. And we'll put this guy in, get it started. And I have more racks because these actually do need to cool quite a long time because they're delicate. And when you put them on the rack, they are rather crumbly. they do regain some composure as they cool, but they're still a little crumbly. Okay. Thank you for the link. Okay. I believe I have more of these. There's one. It's a different size. Let's see here. Too much stuff on the counter. Here we go. And that's not it. There we go. I should have 2 more of these somewhere. Yep, there they are. Always nice where they're in places you think they are. So if you ever wonder, do I really need that many cookie racks? The answer is yes. You do. Yes, I did put them in the oven in 4 minutes. Thank you. I do appreciate that, and I'm not just saying that. Oh, Vern is back. Awesome. How was Lucy's walk? That has not been out for a minute. Okay. How was Lucy's walk? So Lucy is a good dog. My parents' dog is also a good doggy. She brings home gigantic tree branches of sticks and bushes and things. So there you go. Quick and cold. Uh-oh. No 90 degrees is for you there, huh? I was surprised at how warm it got recently. Like I said, I'm hoping we can still get one more breeding out of this year, but if not, I know at least 2 of the rabbits should be pregnant right now, and so we should have at least 2 more litters. But I do plan on redoing how to cut it off the bone and all of that, because I think that's intimidating for people that are just starting out with different animals. Is okay, I have this animal, but what do I do with it? And it is what it is, you know. So if you know how to get it off the bone, that makes it a little easier. And then if you know that you can put any meat into a pressure cooker, into a crock pot, and you're going to get something good out of it. So that's another thing about cooking what you are growing. I actually made beef stroganoff with rabbit for today's lunch. Very easy because the rabbit was already cooked and frozen in the freezer. And I just cut up. I cut up and cooked mushrooms and cooked some noodles, and I mean it goes together really quickly if things are already cooked. So put on sour cream and seasoning, and it's good. So, all right. Uh-oh, I'm not gonna make it. think it's just a bottom to top though, isn't it? Timer cookies. It's almost there. It's almost there. 8 seconds. I'm watching the countdown. You guys wonder why I keep going over here? I have a dirty towel. I mean, it's not dirty. It's just dirty from my hands from this. Always have a dirty towel and a clean towel in your kitchen. And if you are opening and closing your oven door, don't hang your clean one, or frankly your dirty one, on your oven door, unless your floor is spotless. All right. Also, don't hang it right here. You know, some people have like their pot holders and stuff hanging right next to the oven. And I just think, what if there's a fire and you just have extra fuel right there? That wouldn't be good. Yeah. So today I worked from the front room mostly. About 11 or so, I was going to go out and work on the front porch. And I peeked out there, and Ringo and Mama Kitty were cuddled up on my bench. And I knew if I went out there, Mama Kitty was going to run off. But she doesn't go very far anymore. But I figured I'll let them cuddle. Be their cuddle bugs. They are super cute when they do that. And it's so funny because they have 2 beds. There's two cat beds out in the carport, and they only share one of them. The other one, I washed both of them, and they chose one of them. And it's funny because Ringo got kicked out, I think, when she had kittens. I don't know if I haven't seen any kittens this last little bit, so I don't know if the kittens that she had are still around or not. I'm going to guess not, but she could still surprise me. But when the kittens were there, she would share with the kittens and not him. And so he was using the other one. So I just thought that he always used one and she always used one. But that wasn't the case. They both use the same one. Yeah. Steve says, on the side of that cabinet is easy access and also the dirtiest place in the kitchen from the cooking. Right here? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All the grease, what's it called? Because it's like vaporized grease, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Commercial kitchen ceilings are disgusting. I remember I worked in the kitchen in the dishwasher in college at the cafeteria. It's the highest paying job on campus. And that and being a tutor, so I was both of those. But they definitely had some humor. The chef had some really good humor that you couldn't tell if he was joking, which he also had somewhat of a temper that if he told you to do something, you better do it. And we had some community service kids that they would come in and they had to work the whole time or else they didn't get it signed off at all. And if they were screwing around, he wouldn't sign off on the day. They would have to start that day over again. And I remember he told these 2 kids, teenagers, whatever, that he wanted them to wash the ceiling. And they laughed at him. And if you guys have ever seen the ceiling in a commercial kitchen, you know that's not a joke. So, yeah, they did not get to count that day. They went home. Yeah. But it was good. It was a good place to work. You got free food. Always a good thing when you're in college and there's free food. Yeah. All right, 35 seconds. We're getting close on this. Getting close on this. I actually have a friend whose dog started a house fire because there was crumbs in the under the burners, and he needed to get to them, and he turned the dials were up front, and he turned on the stove, and towel that was right here fell onto the stove then, and yeah, they had it was a smaller house fire, but it was still a house fire. Yeah. So be careful. Okay. Now I did get some of those fire blanket things that are supposed to put out fires if you put it over, and hopefully never have to find out. But I did get some of those because I figure, it's better safe than sorry. And I have fire extinguisher too, which I had one at the other house. I never had it filled though. Like it just came with the house. And for some reason I never went to I think the fire department will fill those for you. Or check them or something. I don't actually remember if it was good or not. At least I didn't need it. But now I have fire extinguishers here. So that is good. Yeah. So we're almost done with our cookie dough. I'm going to make this into a big one. And squishy, squishy. I guess it's not that big. It's like this much bigger than the other ones. Okay. So, what's your guys' favorite cookie? I guess I should have asked that a long time ago, huh? Is there a favorite? Because I think for me there's several. I do like them to the Fields cookies. They have a little of everything in them. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Well, 100% oatmeal raisin. Hey, Mandy's here. Fulcher Farms. I have not seen you in forever and a day. I hope you're doing really, really good. Verna says, when I was 5, my dad used a blanket, just a blanket, to put out the fire on your mom's hair. In your mom's hair. Then the couch. What happened? How did that happen? Oh my gosh. Wow. Are we out of dough? We are out of dough. We are out of dough. We are one more tray in after the one that's in there. I just beeped its minute. I know, this is a lot of cookies, so I hope people like the cookies at the bake sale. And then we get a lot of money for our community because we do a lot of good things in the community and put on, Santa comes to town and we pay for, everybody goes home with a gift. And there's the 4th of July events. They do fireworks here. We have our fire chief is a is a pyro, so he sets them off. There's all sorts of things. Easter, we just did the Easter egg hunt, and they get prizes if they find the golden egg, which is super exciting for them. All sorts of stuff. So, yeah. Off. 5 minutes on. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that we do. So lots of different people are baking a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if I'm going overboard or not. I did also bake muffins. I have some here that I've been snacking on myself. These are white chocolate chip muffins. We made these Sunday. I have a bunch in the freezer. I'll thaw them out on Friday. Yeah. Good. All right. So Mandy's giving us hearts. Hearts. Oh, Verna forgot Folster was Mandy. Man. But Verna says she fell asleep with a cigarette and caught the couch and herself on fire. That is dangerous. That is really dangerous. Jacob says a really good oatmeal raisin is the best cookie ever. I have, however, learned that no people on earth make them the same. Absolutely. Just like how peanut butter cookies and oatmeal cookies and snickerdoodles should be soft cookies. In fact, most cookies should be soft cookies, according to me. I don't know about according to you. How about according to you? Yeah. Different recipes are out there. My favorite chocolate chip recipe is off of the back of Albertson's chocolate chip bag, which I have in my little recipe book thing. So yeah, it does matter. Your individual recipes. This book, so this peanut butter recipe is out of this book, ABCs of Cookies. I think I must have gotten it for like a nickel or something at a garage sale, or probably garage sale. I don't remember if it was a garage sale or a thrift store. But yeah, copyright 1961 by the Peter Papa Press. Yeah. Verna says, my absolute favorite is molasses cookies. Ginger snaps. Ginger snaps are also good. Should be soft. Okay, molasses cookies followed by peanut butter and then chocolate chips. There you go. And Jacob says, oh my God, yes! Soft snickerdoodle are the best, not a brick. Soft is best. Okay, we're all big softies here. What can I say? I mean, the only reason to have a hardened cookie, that sounds bad, is for dipping it into milk or hot chocolate. I don't do coffee, other people do, but you know, if you're dipping it into something and soaking it up. But even then, you know? Yeah, so Verna's a coffee drinker, so she dips things into coffee. So Mandy says, peanut butter cookies are amazing. Lots of good memories there. Well, that is what all of these are right here. All of this and all of this and all of what's in the oven right now is peanut butter cookies. So there you go. Feast your eyes. Yeah, but I've had peanut butter cookies that are just, it's hard, and I'm like, why is it hard? And my secret for keeping cookies soft, one of my secrets, is to take it out of the oven at the correct time. And by correct time, I mean earlier than you think you need to, and let it rest on the cookie sheet a little bit longer, because it's just like resting meat. It just, you know, It still cooks. It's still warm. The cookie sheet's still warm. Yeah. And then I cook it halfway through. So 2 middle row racks in the oven, cook it halfway through on the bottom one, and then switch it to the upper one for the second half. And there you go. Yeah. Verna says, I like the soft peanut butter cookies that I made. Awesome. And Mandy's laughing at us. Melt in your mouth like butter. Mm-hmm. All right, we have one more timer. One more timer of 5 minutes. All right. Cookie wisdom, their girlfriend. Yep. Hey, we already talked about urine and badgers, and what else did we talk about, guys? Rabbits. We've had quite the spectrum today. It's worth rewatching, I think. Oh my gosh, it's almost 9. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here with me while I do this. I knew this was a good plan. Yeah, it's good. Quail and chickens. We talked about quail and chickens too. Laughing with us, not at us, Mandy says. Well, I added the second part. You may also still be laughing at, but yeah, laughing with us. Goodness. Yeah. I don't know what else I can tell you guys. Let me know what you guys want to talk about if you're staying around for the last 4 minutes. Because I'm assuming after that we might be done. We talked about badgers. Yeah. There's been some birds showing up coming through the area. So they're migrating. Oh, Lucy loves her raw quail eggs. Does she miss them? Did you make her, like, did you put it somewhere so that she could steal it like she used to steal them out of the rollout cage? That'd be funny. And she was like, ooh, I see a treat that I haven't seen in months. Yeah. Steve says Katrina's crazy kitchen chat. There you go. I'm okay with that. You know, it's good. It's good talking with you guys while I'm making things. And we already made the dough. If you guys are wondering what's going on, we're making the cookies from the dough that we made on Sunday with the Katrina's Kits member. So if you're a member of the channel, and yeah, we did that, and we made muffins, white chocolate chip muffins, and I was gonna make challah rolls, but then I discovered I did not have yeast. I now have yeast. I honestly don't know if I'm going to do that tomorrow or not. So we'll see. We'll see what I feel like, because I do need to get 5 rabbits processed. So maybe I'll wake up early and do that. We'll see. Yeah. Want to be a kit? Steve put a link to the member page. Thank you. Oh yeah, and Mandy, Folster Farms, is a Katrina's kitten who we haven't seen in a while. Have you been watching the replay? Yeah, we will be making a rabbit stew called something in German. I don't have a recipe yet, but that will be June. We did April pretty late, and we did May early, so it'll be a span before we get to June. But we are going with real food, not dessert, during that time. So there you go. I hear geese. A little late to be flying, you guys. Somebody's late home. Oh, she wasn't encouraged in sneaking them. It would be kind of fun just for her to find one randomly, just to see what she did. Yeah. Anyway, Mama Kitty is progressing. She is kind of being hilarious. A couple times this week, I've heard her outside, and I don't know if she's checking to see if the coast is clear or if she's trying to get a bird, talking to a bird because I have the hummingbird feeder up there now. But she's been making these, they're definitely meows, but they're just like very, very soft. And her meows are soft. Um, but like it's always when she's at the edge of the front porch and they have water back here, but the front porch is over here, and I put out some water when one of the contractors brought their puppy, and so I put out, thank you for putting that, whatever, however you say what Steve just posted is the name of what we're making. You can, it's made with rabbit, but you can make it with chicken or quail or whatever. Thank you, Steve. And so that I just had it out there, and the cats actually really like it there. And so I'm like, well, I'll keep filling it. I mean, they have the one over here, but they really like that one. And so I don't know if she's just figured out that she's like, it's safe to do that or what. She's a very cautious cat with most things, but she's also pretty vicious according to the neighbors that used to live next here. She can hold her own. So yeah, we're done cooking. Off. Off. I had to check to see if anything was in there. But she's been kind of funny because she looks around, and I think she's looking to see if I'm there, and I don't know if it's a good thing that I'm there or not. I know she'll drink there if I'm sitting there out there already and being still, and she looks me in the eye and she knows I'm there. But if I'm like in the house and I'm walking to the door or something, then she'll be like, nope, I'm not going. So she has this little risk assessment that she does between those two places, the edge of the porch and then where the water is on the porch. So I just think it's kind of funny and cute. And she keeps on bumping into Ringo when she wants to be pet, because if she bumps into him, I will pet her. And if there is no Ringo involved, then she's like, no, we're not doing this. You're a little scary still. Okay, whatever, dude. Do that. Yeah. I did turn the oven off. Thank you for checking. As we just talked about fire, right? Bugs Bunny, Possum Pepper. Oh, gosh. Okay, and I gotta scroll up. Okay, Mandy says, I've been trying to keep up, but life gets complicated. You know, Mandy, I understand that. I do. I have been all over the place with lots of different things, and work has been crazy, and I need to make phone calls during the day, but I haven't been able to squeeze them in. And I made myself a list, and I'm like, I'm going to do this on this day, I'm going to do this on this day, and I haven't done any of my personal stuff during the work day because people need to be open, right, when I call them. Yeah. Berta says she would watch where I put them. Lucy would be no surprise for her. Oh, do when she's sleeping. She's sleeping right now, right? Do when she's sleeping. Yeah. All right. Oops. Well, that one just went in half. Should we sell that one for half price? Okay. Done baking. For now. We'll see if I do the challah rolls tomorrow. Oh, she takes care of you, Verna. That is sweet. That is really sweet. How old is Lucy again? I know she's getting more white. Lucy's a dog, in case anybody's wondering. "13." Okay. She's been with you a long time. Yeah. So for Katrina's kits for the members, we're gonna do a Sunday in June that is not Father's Day. And if anybody has any input, well, I'll be taking that input, a little later. But I don't remember what Sunday Father's Day is, but we decided on this last live that it's going to be a Sunday, and it's not going to be Father's Day. So that is a heads up, and yeah, man, if we did this on the day that that we did the Cook With Me live, it would be all day because we were already on for a very long time. So you can almost smell those wonderful cookies. Here, I fed one to Verna earlier. Here's a half cookie I can feed you. There's a half cookie. Here it comes. All gone. So good. And if anybody is wondering, yes, even though if you guys did see my peanut butter video, I did revert back to Skippy for these. Because, one, it's cheaper. And two, it is smoother. I know it works. And it's for a fundraiser. So there you go. Oh, no complaining because you get half a cookie. Oh, Mandy says we had a Lucy, best dog we ever had. That's sweet. Sweet, sweet. All right, guys. Well, do you have anything else we should talk about? We've had 3 hours tonight. Thank you for staying up with me and making more cookies. I'm going to let these cool completely and then bag them up just like I did the Mrs. Fields, but a little bit more delicately because they're going to fall apart otherwise. Yeah, let me know. Oh, Verna says, yes, Lucy is the best dog ever. I agree. It seems to come with a name. There you go. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to say goodnight. And thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. So it comes with the name. There you go. All right, guys. So Steve's back on the 17th. Have fun on your trip. Have a good visit, and hopefully everybody is healthy and stays healthy. Yeah. Thank you to our moderators, Steve and Verna, and thank you everybody for being here, and people watching later. Thank you as well, and we will talk to you next Monday. We're back to Mondays, so remember the Thursdays are only for if the first Monday of the month it becomes a Thursday. I need to write down the actual how to say that. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. And we'll see you Monday. Bye.